The Blues Fan Forum podcast is presented by Interstate 70 Sports Media Group. I-70 strives to bring you the best sports coverage in the tri-state area. Find them on Facebook or at interstate70sports.media.
This is Jordan Bennington, and you're listening to the Blues Fan Forum podcast.
Skating on the ice, under St. Louis city lights, where the Blues play with all their might. Jordan Cairo, fast on the attack, but defense falters, gotta cut him some slack. In rubber tongues, we find our glory, his skills shine, the team's best story. St. Louis Blues, we wear the crest. In Jordan Bennington, we put our trust to the test. On the ice, we fight and we must, for the city we love. In the blue, no we'll thrust.
Yes, a Christmas song.
Nice.
All right. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to what we're calling episode 142.5 of the Blues Fan Forum podcast, your source for blues news, views, and fan interviews. And hopefully we are able to emphasize the fan interview portion of tonight because we are live in location at Lucky Lefty Slots in Trenton, Illinois with none other than Dan Picard. Dan, thanks for coming.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for having it here. This is going to be pretty cool. So if we don't get any fans, Katie, we're going to drag you out from behind the bar and put you on the TV.
We're going to have some people. People are going to have to jump in and record with us. All right. Dan's employee just quit. All right. It is still early. It's only, 6:37. Game's not till 7 o'clock. So I'm assuming get some people here to hang out with us. We will be recording from now until puck drop. Following that, we will get into some first intermission, some second intermission, kind of go over how the game's going. And then we'll kind of do some highlights at the end and just see, for the people who show up to Lucky Lefty in Trenton, what they think of the Blues either tonight or the season or whatever they want to talk about, because that's the whole purpose of this podcast.
Very cool.
All right. So, Dan, before we get started, why don't you give us a little background on Lucky Lefty and especially the logo behind the back of your head? Because I think this is one of the greatest logos in the history of logos.
It's a fantastic story. So this is the dream of my wife. So Christy, her family grew up out west. Her grandfather trained horses and was a jockey. Her uncles were horse trainers. So their entire family, Grandpa Rocky and Grandma Tiny, were around the racetrack. They gambled all the time, and they had family poker nights, which continues through this day. So anytime there is a family outing, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas, whether it's a wedding, they literally had poker tables at our wedding. And as soon as the reception was over with and the dances were done, there was poker being played. So that's the little background of Christy's family. So she had wanted to put together one of these parlors, and the location came open. And so she knew she wanted to call it what she wanted to call it. So anyway, Grandma Tiny would carry her money around with her. And women always have their little stash, and Grandma Tiny's stash just happened to be on the left side of her bra. And so when she was down to needing her stash, she would say, "Well, I'm down to my Lucky Lefty," and she would reach in and pull out her money. And so that's kind of the background of the logo. So you can kind of see it behind us over here over my head. And it's a pair of cherries, and one of them just happens to have a little bit of an orange outline and a dollar bill sticking out of it. So anyway, homage to Grandma Tiny and her Lucky Lefty. So that's where we're at. So right here in the middle of Trenton, 2 West Broadway, right at the corner of Main and Old Highway 50. And come on by. Come watch the game with us. Yeah. You still have 20 minutes, probably more like 25 to 30 until actual puck drop, because they don't actually drop the puck at 7 o'clock. So you got plenty of time. If you're in the area, come hang out with us. We got how big is that screen? 85-inch screen. We got cold beer. We got The gaming parlor is right here next to us.
Gaming parlor. Hopefully,
play some
yeah.
slots.
Hopefully, my microphones are doing a good job of not picking up the music, but there are some people here playing already, and I heard someone hit Fever Games earlier. So
There you go.
I don't know if they won or not. If my dad shows up, which I believe he is, when he's playing slots and he hits Fever Games, he'll get loud, and then the microphone might pick that up. We might know when people are doing well here.
All right. Well, hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, right.
We like people to win.
All right, let's preview the game tonight. So Blues play the Buffalo Sabres tonight. The Buffalo Sabres, have you happened to pay attention at all or read any pregame information?
They're a little bit on a hot streak, so I think they're ready to lose one.
Yeah, I would hope so, right? They're due.
They're due.
Exactly.
They're due.
Yes. They are currently in their last 10 games, 8-2. They've won 8, lost 2. The 2 happened to be the 9th and 10th game ago because they have won 8 straight. So hottest team in the NHL versus the St. Louis Blues, who have won 1 in a row. Do you count it as in a row? We just won 1. The last game we played, Hofer started, won the game, and then before Christmas we must have lost right before Christmas. I don't remember who we played then. That was so long
I thought
ago.
we had won one right before Christmas. I don't know. Maybe I need to look at my stats.
Yeah, right.
You didn't tell me I was getting interviewed.
So,
Somebody's going to set us straight here in a minute, I'm
Right.
sure.
Hottest team in the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres. I decided to go do some digging, and I wanted to look at some stats and just kind of see what is causing them to win as much as they have. And when I think of Buffalo, I think of a young team with a lot of skilled forwards. I'm sure every St. Louis Blues fan, as soon as you hear Buffalo Sabres, you immediately think of Tage Thompson. And he's obviously their big one. But they got a lot of young, skilled, not only forwards, but also defensemen, as they have 2 former number 1 overall picks in Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin, who is actually returning tonight. He missed a couple games. But it's not actually offense that's doing the job for them. In their last 10 games, they've scored 18 goals, but they've only given up 15. So it's the defense, it's the back end that's actually doing well for them.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, when you look at it, because I think when I was looking at the stats earlier too, this is kind of the same thing over the course of the last 10 games. I think game goals for has been pretty much the same. Has it?
18 for both of us.
For
Yep.
both of us.
Yep.
But our goals against is a little bit higher, obviously. So yeah, it's pretty tight. They're not giving up. They're not blowing anybody out of the water with their offense right now. So I think that's a good. You know, if you're looking at it over the course of 10 games, they've got 18 goals for, so they're at a 1.8 goals per game. I mean, it's not too high. So I don't know. I feel like we've started to put the puck in the net a little bit more. So I feel like Booch is kind of coming out of his shell a little bit, which is a great deal. And he just looks like he's got a little bit more energy. You know, Snuggerud's coming back. He looked pretty decent the other night. He was, you know, it's hard coming back off an injury, several, you know, days off from the holidays and everything else. Just, I think they're going to come out a little bit on fire tonight. Mm-hmm. So I hope that's the case.
Did you watch the last game? Booch ends up with 2 goals, but after the first goal, did you see his celebration was taking the monkey off of his back?
I did not see that.
He like grabs the monkey off his back and kind of throws it away.
That's amazing.
Which he had a literal monkey on his back to start the season. This one, he only had, I think, 8 games where he had not scored. But to start the season, it was really bad.
Even streak the goal and for a while. So anyway, it was really good and just good. I think if you watch both of his goals, it was you know, for the young players out there watching those goals, go to the net, but don't skate past the net, right? And he got the rebounds. I think one of the rebounds, his first one went off a defenseman, came back to him, and then he got the rebound over the pad, and then the second one coming in from the left side of the ice got the rebound right back to him, was able to kind of back off a little bit, let the goalie come forward, and then it was a pretty sharp angle, and he put it just right in the top corner of the net. So a couple of really good goals for him.
Yeah, and goals that we need Buchnevich to have. He's been very, you know, hot and cold to start the season. It started cold, got a little hot, started, you know, 8 games now again of coldness, but comes up with 2 last night or 2 nights ago. And they're highlighting him on the Blues pregame as we speak right now. So look, we're ahead of the game. We're already talking about him. I do have stats down for some of the top performers of the Blues from their last 10 games. And Thomas leads the pack, which is what you expect. 5 goals, 7 assists for 12 points in the last 10 games. So point per game or over a point per game, which is kind of where you want Robert Thomas to be. But in second is Buchnevich.
Yeah.
3 goals, 5 assists
Lots
for
of assists.
8
That's
points.
good.
Yep.
Yep.
The other ones, just to round off the top, what do I have here? Top 5. Falk has 4 goals and 3 assists for 7 points in the last 10. Neighbors is at 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. And then Shen is at 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points. So, yeah, that's kind of how the last 10 is rounding out. It's nice to see the big boys are scoring the points. There was a long time where it was like Walker getting goals and Bukestad getting goals and Joseph getting goals, which is nice to have that depth, but we had that depth and we didn't have the star power. And now the star power is coming through.
Yeah, I feel that's good. It's also a good point.
All right.
It's good to see those guys getting up on the board.
So looking at my paper came out. We talked about how Buffalo is winning games because they're not giving up goals. So naturally, the next thing for me to look at was the goaltender matchup. I was like, all right, we're starting Joel Hofer for the second game since the break, and we might just start there. Dan, they have said multiple times, Montgomery and I believe Armstrong have came out and said there is no goalie controversy. What is your thoughts on the quote unquote goalie controversy?
I think you run with the guy who's feeling confident and who's feeling hot. I think a couple of those games that Bennington played before the break, and I'm trying to remember the game, he gave up a couple of goals, but it didn't seem like he was getting a lot of help. He was really, I felt like there was a couple of goals where we got guys just parked out in front of the net and nobody's covering up the body.
Was it Tampa Bay?
I think it was the Tampa
when they had the first game. 2 were just tip-ins.
2 were just, yeah. And there's, it's tough. I mean, when the puck's moving that quick and you've got defensemen in front of you and somebody's, that you got to give credit to the team when they can hand-eye coordinate that goal, that puck into the top of the net. It's good on them, right? And you can't expect the goalie to stop them all. I feel like there's a lot of those that I think he struggled in some of our games where you can tell where there's ones that he wants that one back, right? That's one that he should have stopped. There was a couple of those. I think the Tampa game, I think you're right. It was a couple of those first goals where you just are like, man, it's just, I won't call it a bad break. It's just a good goal, right? Mm-hmm. And it looks bad on him. All of a sudden now he's got 4 goals against, right, or 3 or 4 or whatever. I don't know if one of them was an empty net or whatever the case was. We lose. I think it was 4-1. But whoever's got the hot hand, and I think Hofer just looks more confident. He looks more set. He's in a good position. He's got his body positioning is really well, and he's just seeing the puck, right? He's just seeing it. So you got to run with him. He's looking great. I think he looks really solid.
Yeah. And then the stats back up exactly what you just said. In Joel Hofer's last 10 games, he's got 6 wins and 2 losses. The other 2 games that he would have played, for those of you who are doing quick math at home, are games that he had to go in for because Bennington got pulled. Bennington was the starter, so he doesn't get a win or a loss in that game, which they would have been losses. It was Anaheim and I think the other Nashville game, maybe.
Probably.
So even counting those games that Hofer has got thrown into in the middle, his goals against average in his last 10, 1.87. So less than 2 goals a game. His save percentage, 0.934. Both of those are tied for 6th in the NHL in that 10-game span.
Yeah. I mean, anything over 0.9 for a save percentage is respectful,
Mm-hmm.
but you get up into the 0.92, 0.93, that's pretty tough. That's stopping a lot of pucks, and he just looks confident. And anytime you got a goaltender that's playing confident like that, the guys out in front of him just tend to play different. And if we rewind the clocks, I don't want to sit here and bash Bennington because he's everybody says he was the one responsible for getting us to the Cup in 2019, and anybody who says anything different is off the rocker.
Doesn't have eyes.
You just can't see it, right? And you think about Jake Allen. Jake Allen was a solid goaltender, still is a goalie, and he's still around, right? He's a solid goaltender.
He was doing really well in New Jersey.
Doing really well in New Jersey, right? He had really good numbers. So it's just it's really funny. And you look if you think back to that season when you watch the Blues play in front of Jake Allen, and then you watch that same exact team play in front of Bennington, it was just different, right? It just looked different. It felt different. It felt quicker. It felt more. It's an intangible thing that's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where this team is at, right? It just kind of changes the mindset of them. But either way, I mean, they're both pretty solid. I mean, Bennington in the big games, you can't discredit him because he's got a lot under his belt for coming forward when the championship's on the line or the medal's on the line, whatever it might be. He's your guy. So it's tough. It's a good problem to have when you've got two decent goaltenders, right? I know his numbers aren't that solid this year, and everybody wants to bash on him, but come playoff time, if you need him, he'll be there.
Thought that just popped into my head. Is there a off chance that Doug Armstrong is just slow playing Binnington so he's ready for the Olympics?
Could be. I mean, maybe he's nursing an injury that we don't know of.
Right.
I mean, that's, there's always that opportunity to, hey, listen, let's just, he's got a holiday break. He's already had 2 or 3 days off. Let's let him heal whatever this thing is that's ailing him. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just needs a little reset time. I don't know, but he's a gamer. I mean, when you've seen him in interviews, you see him, the way that he talks, the way that he's passionate about the sport. He's not going to sit back and take it lightly. And we talked about it in our last meeting when he got pulled and he was kind of giving some grief to the coach, and him and the coach were having some words. That's the intensity that you want. You don't want a guy that's going to go sit in the corner or go pout and go run off in the locker room and not come back onto the bench with his team. And he took it on the chin. He gave his 5 cents worth or whatever he gave to the coach, and then they were okay with it. They moved on, right? That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and that's not the attitude Binnington showed, at least in the game. You would expect Binnington to get the start after a break because he's the quote unquote starter, but it really is a 1A 1B situation. Agreed. And they can fill in either way
for sure.
But just something cool that I noticed at the very end of the game, players are going into the locker room and the 3 stars are waiting to be called out, and Binnington's actually right there in the hallway signing an autograph for a kid. And so it's like, if he was pissed off that he wasn't starting, he probably doesn't do that. So, he's still a great NHL goaltender and still a good dude.
He is a good guy. I've not met him, but he just seems like he's a stand-up kid.
Mm-hmm.
He really does.
So we do have some comments. I need to pull up here. Sam's been commenting. We have Sam's a little incognito here, commenting on YouTube instead of Facebook. So it didn't pop up Sam. So I got kind of confused when this one popped up, but it is Sam. It's our favorite Springfield Thunderbirds super fan / Checkfecker. Fact checker.
That was almost really bad.
I stopped at 7 West before I came here and had a couple beers. All right, so Sam is here. Sam did say that Springfield needs some good vibes. So Sam, you have to let me. Does Springfield play tonight, or are they just? I haven't really checked to see how they're doing recently, but I know they did not start off well. So.
And like half of the roster is on the Blues roster.
Yeah, right. Stenberg's playing well. Dvorsky's playing well.
I mean,
we did send Luff back down. We did send Kaskamaki back down, mainly because of the signings of Fabry and Berggren. But I want back to goalies real quick before we can kind of go over the starting lineups and how the team is playing. Alex Lyon is starting for Buffalo tonight, which again, you probably would have guessed that it would have been Ukko Pekka Luukkonen, something like that.
Good for you.
I think that could be wrong, but I said it with confidence. It is Alex Lyon in net tonight, who coincidentally has the same record as Joel Hofer in the last 10 games. He's 6-2. So again, had another 2 games where I guess either Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen or Colton Ellis who was in, and they got pulled, and so Alex Lyon had to go in. But despite winning 6 in a row, Alex Lyon has. His stats are, his goals against average is a 2.94, so he's giving up almost 3 goals a game. and his save percentage is a .896, less than 9. So I'm not really sure how those numbers match up with a team that's only given up 15 goals and has won 8 in a row when 6 of them came with Alex playing. So it's pretty confusing, but Alex apparently is the 1A now in Buffalo, kind of like how Joel Hofer might be the 1A in St. Louis at this point. He's the one leading them in this charge. But just massive differences in the numbers for these two goalies.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the 0.9 or less than 0.9 save percent average if the guy's playing for you. But if you're playing against him, hey, I'll take that. An 89 or 88% save average, and he's given up 2.9 goals in a game. Again, I don't know how that works out for 18 games. I don't know, or because they've only given up 15 goals. Not sure how that math plays out.
He's only played 6 of them.
Yeah. Makes sense.
He's won 6 of the 8 wins. So the other wins would have come from
So
either Colton Ellis or Pekka.
But yeah, 2, almost a 3 goals against per game. I think that leans into our favor a little bit, especially we've been putting a few more pucks in the net as of late. So I think that's I don't know. It's good. It should be a good game. Should really be a good game.
Well, and that's what I was like really nervous about seeing. Sabres have won 8 in a row. They've only given up 15 in their last 10. So looking at that, but then you see, Lions stats really aren't that great in his last 10, where Hofer's are. The St. Louis Blues are a lot better in their last 10. We are 5-4-1 in our last 10. So 5 wins, 4 losses, 1 in overtime. Shocker. But we've only won 1 in a row, and winning those multiple games in a row has been an issue for the St. Louis Blues this year.
Yeah.
So what else? Let's look at the starting lineup. Not a whole lot changing, but there is a couple bits. Top line tonight is Neighbors, Thomas, and Buchnevich. Kind of expected. Second line has Shen at the center and Kyrou at the right wing, but starting at left wing is Otto Stenberg. So started in the fourth line last game and bumped his way up to the third, and then bumped his way up to the second as the game went on.
I like this guy. I like this kid. He's playing with he's got a little pep in his step. He's figured out how to fill in the holes up front a little bit more, and I think it's a good experience for him. I think so.
Yeah. Third line then is Dvorsky is centering. Snuggerud will be on the right wing, and Fabry is in replacing Bergeron. Bergeron takes his first break since coming here. He's played 5 games in a row. Fabry was off the other night, so Fabry kind of subs in there. And then the fourth line, Torpchenko, Sundqvist, and Joseph. Joseph is replacing Pia Suter, who is out for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That one hurts.
He had a really good game the other night. And his hockey smarts just really show. He's always, I don't know. I think Gretzky used to always say, it's not necessarily where you need to be, where the puck is at. You need to be where the puck is going to go. Right. So you got to be thinking ahead. And I think that kid really puts himself into a lot of really good positions. I think you can tell he's just got that knack for being in the right spot. And defensively, I think he plays really well for Florida. He's been really good.
Yeah, I think one of our best penalty killers. Like I know Robert Thomas and Buchnevich have been very good penalty killers. They've actually been playing Stenberg on the penalty kill a little bit as well. But Pia Suter has been one of the better penalty killers. So not only is that going to hurt offensively, as he has a decent amount of points, but it's going to hurt, I think, like you said, at the defensive end a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, it's almost game time. What time is it? It's right at 7:00. Sam did give us another comment here. She said, Otto is awesome, and he's only 20 years old, which is nuts.
It is crazy.
So that is fantastic. He's going to be a Blue for a long time. And here's a kind of interesting thing. So Otto's brother is a projected top 5 pick in the NHL, and I guess came out and said if he had his choice, he would be playing for the Blues. So the Blues just tank for Otto's brother.
I don't know, or just move yourself into a position where you can get that pick, right?
Right.
Because that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or you just be prepared to move him or make some sort of a trade at that point to be able to pick him up, because that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I was about to say it's been a while since we've had brothers on the team, but we had the Josephs on the team last year, so it really hasn't been that long.
A little short-lived.
Yeah, and then we traded PO, which is kind of sad. But Matthew's playing well. So, all right. Well, Dan, let's watch some hockey. Maybe
right.
gamble a little bit, and we will be back for the first period or
right.
first intermission. All right.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.